Hello and welcome to Library of a Silver Saint, where we discuss all things books. Thank you so much for joining me today. I apologise if I come across a little bit rushed or anything. This is a bit spontaneous for me. I don't do spontaneous. I like to plan and know when I'm doing things. I thought I would quickly, whilst the gorgeous sunlight is in the room, record this morning. So apologies if I seem a bit scattered. To be fair, that's probably no different to normal. But anyway, thank you for joining me today. I wanted to make... Sorry, got my beverage of choice again. We've got the multi-biscuit brew as mentioned last week. I will have to sip every now and then, so just give me a moment. Oh, it's the first cuppa of the day. You know, when it's that first one and it just hits. I've already had a coffee because that was needed for the gym. But this is the first brew. Anyway, I digress. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about some of the newest additions to my physical TBR. So books that are either special editions that I've pre-ordered, or a couple of exciting ones as well, or just books that I've just recently added because of book clubs and things like that, and also a couple that I've very kindly been gifted, or one that I've very kindly been gifted. So I just wanted to talk to you about some of the latest additions to my physical TBR. Now, with these books, I discuss kind of what they're about because I've already read them, or I'm currently reading them, so I can talk to you about that. But in today's video, it's a little bit different because for some of these, I have absolutely no idea what they're about. So I might have to a couple of times just essentially read the blurb because they're so new to my TBR. I actually don't really know much about them myself. If you have watched any of my videos, you may know that I try to go in to books as blind as I can generally. I might have to read the blurb of these books quite a lot, so I apologise if that's not very entertaining for you. But hopefully it might give you a bit of inspiration as to some other books to add to your endless TBRs, if you have the same problem that I do. But yes, I'm going to talk to you about those. The first book that it has very recently been added to my TBR is, I got this secondhand. I used Vinted. I use Vinted for quite a lot of books actually, especially if they're a book club read or something like that. I try not to buy them new too much where I can. If it's a pre-order, then obviously it's a different story. But if it's been out for a while, I generally try to get it secondhand. And I picked up this one, which is Gideon the Ninth. I'm going to butcher the surname, so I do apologise, but I believe it's by Tamsin Muir. I'm not sure. That's probably completely wrong, and oh sorry, it's a bit glinty. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. Somebody can tell me how to pronounce it. I'm terrible. I believe this is book one in something called the Locked Tomb series. I'm very limited on my understanding of what this is about. My friend Abbie, Books and Three Cats on Instagram, told me that this is really good and that she really enjoyed it, and I believe it's on quite a lot of my friends' TBRs as well. But I think this always, generally, wherever I've seen it, gets the same kind of sort of tagline, which is lesbian necromancers in space. I mean, that's all I needed to know. I didn't need to hear anything more than that. I was happy just with that. I was like, yep, I'm good. Sign me up. Sounds good to me. That is literally all I know. So anything else would have to come from the blurb or the summary. So I'm going to read that. I believe it's part of a trilogy. Yeah, Locked Tomb trilogy. I'm going to read the blurb. I'm sorry if this is boring, but the most fun you'll ever have with a skeleton. Fair. I mean, I'm intrigued. The Emperor needs necromancers. The ninth necromancer needs a swordswoman. Gideon has a sword, some dirty magazines. Why not? And no more time for undead nonsense. Tamsin Muir's Gideon the Ninth unveils a solar system of swordplay, cutthroat politics, and lesbian necromancers. Her characters leap off the page as skillfully animated as necromantic skeletons. The result is a heart-pounding epic science fantasy. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I have heard a lot of people talk about this and say that they absolutely adored it. And this, I'm sorry, but this, lesbian necromancers explore a haunted gothic palace in space. So you're mixing sci-fi with magic and like a gothic, I mean, you're mixing lots of really good things there. I'm hoping it pays off and I hope it works, but I'm really excited for this. If you've read this or if you want to read it, let me know. I think I saw Zach at Shaye's library talk about this series and say that it was one of his favourites in a recent video as well. I'll see if I can find it and I'll link it below. That was a really good video. So I'm excited. But yeah, if you have read this, please let me know if it's worth it. And if I've heard it's a lot of fun. I've also heard it's wacky. I mean, it's just, you know, just sometimes you just need a good time. Sometimes you just need a good time. I like dark. I like sort of grim dark. So maybe this is kind of that, but a bit humorous as well. I don't know. The second book that has just recently made it to my physical TBR was very, 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 very kindly gifted to me by the wonderful Abbie, Books and Three Cats. And that is The Wolf by Leo Carew. Leo wrote this. I should be better at names. I used to be a teacher, so I used to have to learn a lot, but it doesn't make me any better at pronouncing things, so I'm really sorry. Thank you, Abbie, for gifting this to me. Sent it to me on when I was having a bit of a rainy day, so thank you so much. I also actually recently gifted this to my other friend Abbie, Abbie's Book World on Instagram, and we have all been recommended it by Immy in the Books, and she says it's incredible. Again, I know very little about this, so I'm going to read the blurb again. I apologise. It's from the Under the Northern Sky series, so it's book 1. A great war has come to the land under the northern sky. Beyond the Black River, among the forests and mountains of the north, lives an ancient race of people. Their lives are measured in centuries, not decades. They revel in wilderness and resilience, and they scorn wealth and comfort. Oof. It sounds gritty, I like it. By contrast, those in the south live in the moment, their lives more fleeting. They crave wealth and power, their ambition is limitless, and their cunning unmatched. Oh, that's giving sort of Game of Thrones, Westeros, the north, and okay, I don't like to compare series too much, but that's what I'm just thinking. When the armies of the south flood across the Black River, a fragile peace between the two races is shattered. On a lightning-struck battlefield, the two sides will fight for their people, for their land, and for their very survival. Two sides, one warrior. I mean, that sounds fantastic. And it says that it's a debut. And it says also, oh, there you go, that's where I thought about it, the next George R.R. Martin. It does seem a bit Westeros inspired. So maybe George R.R. Martin's books are a huge inspiration for Leo, but that just sounds incredible. So thank you, Immy, for the recommendation. Thank you, Abbie at Books and Three Cats, for gifting me this. That's incredibly kind of you. And Abbie's Book World, maybe we should do a buddy read. Another one. But yeah, so that is The Wolf. Okay, the next book is completely different. It's completely different. It's the only one that's not fantasy or sci-fi in some way. And that is Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. Now, this is my personal book club. I run a book club in my sort of local area with some friends, and this is our pick. I chose Tom Lake because I'd heard lots of really good things about it, and a lot of the members of my book club like to listen to the audio version. And I heard that the audio version for this is really good because it's narrated by Meryl Streep. Excellent actress. So I thought we're on to a winner. I also thought we often read quite hard-hitting, heavy books in my book club, and I thought we need something, spring is starting, we're out of Day's Death, we need something light. Maybe not completely light, but we need something a bit more sunny and brighter. This still might be the most traumatizing, horrible book ever, but it looks springy, and it literally says on the back, it's spring. I mean, there you go. That's all I needed to know. So it's spring and Lara's 3 grown daughters have returned to the family orchard. While picking cherries, they beg their mother to tell them the one story they've always longed to hear of the film star with whom she shared a stage and a romance years before. Tom Lake is a meditation on youthful love, married love, and the lives parents lead before their children are born. It explores what it means to be happy even when the world is falling apart. Okay, so it might make me cry. It might make us cry. Sorry, guys, if I've picked a bit of a downer. It does say that it's beautiful, but the other thing that made me think about this is I've got a lot of fans of Taylor Jenkins Reid in my book club, so Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones and the Six, that sort of thing. And when I read that about it being about an old romance from years before, it kind of made me think of that. So I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be a good one, and I've heard it's really good as an audiobook as well. So yeah, hopefully this will be great. Oh no, a bittersweet tale of family, heartbreak and hope. It's fine. It's set in spring. We won't get too depressed. I apologise as well if you can hear whining in the background. That is Ernie, because he's waiting for me to give him his breakfast and I haven't done it yet. So apologies if you can hear that. My next book that is on my physical TBR, that's a new edition, is another one that I got secondhand from Vinted, and it is the incredible Artificial Wisdom by Thomas R. Weaver. Now, I had never heard about this until I started watching Kris and Mads' YouTube channel and their bookstagram. Again, I'll try and remember to link them below, because they are smashing the sort of book club world at the moment. They absolutely raved about this. Again, I think it was an indie debut, but now I think he might have been picked up by a traditional publisher. I'm not sure, that might not be true. But this is a kind of sci-fi-esque story, and when Kris and Mads were talking about it and their experience of reading it, I think they even had Thomas join them for a podcast or in part of their book club. They just expressed... Ernie, shh. Ernie, do you want to come in here? Come and sit down and be good. Stay. Ernie's going to be with us just to stop him from whining, hopefully. It does have a blurb, so I'm going to read from here. So it says, salvation has a price. It's 2050, a decade after a heat wave that killed 400 million across the Persian Gulf, including journalist Marcus Tully's wife. Now he must uncover the truth. Was the disaster natural, or is the weather now a weapon of genocide? A whistleblower pulls Tully into a murder investigation at the centre of an election battle for a global dictator with a mandate to prevent a climate apocalypse. A former US president campaigns against the first AI politician for the position, but someone is trying to sway the outcome. Can Tully unravel the truth in time? Will humanity ultimately choose salvation over freedom? I remember Kris and Mads mentioning that there is potentially the option for the next sort of election to have AI essentially elected as president. And if actually that is the best choice for the environment and getting out of this awful environmental crisis that the world is in. It's such an interesting topic. AI terrifies me. But Kris and Mads said that this was incredible and really thought-provoking and just great. So I'm really excited for this one. This might be a new addition to my 2025 TBR. I'm hoping to get to this as soon as possible because that just sounds insane. I told you before, it's thirsty work. Oh, it's starting to go a little bit cold. It's fine. Next is a book that I think I asked for Christmas or my birthday from my mum, bless her, and she got it for me, but it came all the way from America, so it took a little while to get here. But because my mum ordered it, it's signed to her, which is the cutest thing. So it says, to honour, may the Watcher have mercy on you. And my mum said, I'm really sorry, I accidentally got it signed to me. I was like, no, it's quite cute. And that is Darkblade Assassin by Andy Peloquin. This is, can we just take a moment for the cover? Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. It's also different to all my other paperbacks. Are all US paperbacks massive? Because that is huge. Like if I compare it to some of my paperbacks, maybe it's just me. Are all US paperbacks massive? I love it. I think it's so cool. Yeah, so I love that. Also, the cover is just incredible. But this just sounds so much fun. Andy is such a good guy on the bookstagram. On the bookstagram. On the bookstagram. I'm 90 years old. I'm so sorry. On bookstagram. Andy Peloquin is so cool. Really great fun. Love watching his reels and things. I think there's quite a lot of books in this series, but I will just read from the blurb because I don't know about it that much. All in Varamis know the legend of the hunter, relentless, immortal, death-walking, the greatest assassin who ever lived. Pay the master killer his due and the hunter will execute any target, carry out any contract, no matter how impossible. But when the bloody hand crime syndicate harms the innocents under his protection, they foolishly make an enemy of the one man they can't afford to anger. The price of the hunter's vengeance is high, paid in blood and eternal damnation. Not even an army of crooks, cutthroats and demonic creatures of nightmare can stand in his way. He's far more than just one man. He's the keeper damned hunter of Varamis. I mean, do you know what? Sometimes you just need gritty. And I have heard this described as John Wick meets something else. I can't remember what the second one was, but apparently it's kind of John Wick meets fantasy novels. I mean, John Wick. Oh, is it going to make me cry? Because John Wick really made me cry. Ernie left the room when I mentioned John Wick. I think he knew the story. I'm really excited for this. I just think sometimes, you just need grit and action and you just need that. You just need it. Sometimes you just need it. You just need it. Look at that. I'm so excited. Can't wait for it. Andy, thank you for sending this to my mum. The next book I'm really excited about because technically it's a little bit of an unwrapping, but I mean, it says what it is. But it's the Broken Binding edition of Grave Empire by Richard Swan. And it arrived the other day and I thought, you know what, I know what it is. So I thought I will just unwrap it whilst I'm on camera. And honestly, this is one of life's joys. The Broken Binding used the best sellotape. This is when you know that somebody is a bit of a geek when they get freakishly excited about stationery. But look at that. If you're like me and you want to save wrapping paper because you're a freak, or you want to be able to recycle wrapping paper because you're a freak, but you can't because the sellotape just rips it. Sorry, you're getting an insight into my personality. I'm 28, but when I speak, I know I sound like I'm 90. I'm not sorry. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh, it's got a lovely feel to it. It's like a really nice matte. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. Look at that. That is stunning. No. Now, I really love my Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wong by the But look at that. I've not read anything by Richard Swan. This will be a complete new book for me. New start for me. It's signed. Yay! Oh, we love it. We love it. But I saw the cover and immediately I was like, yeah. Yep. I'm happy with that. Phenomenal. Blood once turned the wheels of empire and now it is money. A new age of exploration and innovation has dawned, and the Empire of the Wolf stands to take its place as the foremost power in the known world. Glory and riches await. But dark days are coming. A mysterious plague has broken out in the pagan kingdoms of the north, while in the south the Empire's proxy war in the lands of the Wolfmen is weeks away from total collapse. Worse still is the message brought to the Empress by 2 heretic monks who claim to have lost contact with the spirits of the afterlife. The monks believe this is the start of an ancient prophecy heralding the end of days, the Great Silence. It falls to Renata Rayner, a low-ranking ambassador to an enigmatic and vicious race of mermen. Mermen! To seek answers from those who still practice the arcane arts, but with the road south beset by war and the Empire on the brink of supernatural catastrophe, soon there may not be a world left to save. I think it's book 1 in a series. I've heard from a few people, so it's, book 1 of The Great Silence. I've heard from a couple of people that this is really good for people who also quite like horror. It's a really good mixture of horror and fantasy, and that is excellent. That was music to my ears, because I do like having a bit of a dip into the horror world every now and then. So for me, that's really, really good. And I've also heard amazing things about his Justice of Kings. I don't know what the series is called, but I'm pretty sure the first one is called Justice of Kings. And apparently that series of his is amazing. So I can't wait to get to Grave Empire. Look at it. Did anybody else get the Broken Binding edition? Oh, so good. Finally, I know what this is. I was very luckily sent this by an author because I won a giveaway. Just very luckily. I was just lucky. I was very lucky and I won a giveaway. But this has come to me, I believe, all the way from down under. I was going to do an Australian accent, but it's probably best that I avoid that because I'll probably offend people. I'm not going to lie. Accents aren't really my forte. I've not ever been... Oh my gosh. Got some bookmarks. Got some stickers. This is so cool. So this is an indie book. This is Aroma by Callum Lott. Look at that! That's so cool! It made me think of Fallout, the guy in Fallout. Yeah? No? Me? Just me? Maybe it's just me. Yeah, Callum very kindly sent this to me because I want to give away, but I had heard of it before because I believe Spaced Out Reads had read and reviewed it on his channel, I think. So I had already heard of it. But I believe this is a Western sci-fi? I mean, why not? Sounds great. Hiding from her tortured past, Nelsa endures deadly duels by day and drinks herself numb at night. While she rots away in the saloons on the outskirts of Aroma City, the ruthless Salazano tightens his stranglehold on the desert planet and the stars beyond. After an unlikely proposition sends her on the path of vengeance, Nelsa must rally her fellow outlaws for a daring heist that will change the course of the wild frontier forever. I mean, come on. It just sounds fun, doesn't it? It sounds so good. Look at that. Look at that. I'm so happy that I get to have this on my shelf because it's so cool. That's one thing I love about Bookstagram is this, the support and the love and the sharing of indie authors. When I won Callum's giveaway and he sent me this, I just felt so grateful, and I'm really looking forward to reading and reviewing this Western sci-fi. I mean, come on, this looks great. And thank you so much for Callum for sending this to me. I know I'm quite far away, so thank you for posting this out to me, but I'm really excited that I won the giveaway and I can't wait to read it. Those are all the books that have recently made it to my physical TBR. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really sorry if that was a bit of a boring video because I don't really necessarily know much about the book, so of course was just reading the blurb from the authors or whoever has blurbed it. So I'm really sorry if it was a bit dull or not the kind of video that you wanted to see. I know I wasn't reviewing anything. I'm really excited about these new additions to my TBR, the ever-growing TBR. It's a reader problem. We're readers. We have growing TBRs that we can't keep up with. What a privilege. It's the best problem to have. Thank you so much for watching. Have you read any of these books, and what should I prioritise? What do you think I will love? Also, did anybody else manage to get The Grave Empire Broken Binding Edition? Because it is just stunning. If you would like to subscribe, become a firm member of the Library of a Silver Saint, I would love to have you here. I just love it. I just love being able to talk about books. It's my little corner where I can just ramble, and I love it. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.